One is the established perp DEX that has been out for months, and one has seemingly come out of nowhere posting exchange level numbers. If you're new, this video is going to show what actually matters: Aster versus Hyperliquid, fees, total value locked, and open interest. I'll explain in plain English what these terms actually mean and how you can decide which platform you want to use for your trading. So what are these platforms? So both of these are perpetual dexes, so you can trade your crypto with leverage on chain without a centralized exchange. Hyperliquid runs on its own blockchain built for speed. It's been great for active traders, is established in the space now as the leading perpetual DEX, has no VC funded backers, and has an extremely strong token and platform TVL to go with it. While Aster is the new kid on the block, it has multi-chain support for deposits, it has really strong backing, and is VC funded by the likes of Binance Labs, with CZ leading the helm, which has had a huge impact. And they also have their yield bearing assets, which are revolutionary, which can interest while they are your collateral. And they have these dark pools where when you make positions, nobody can actually see exactly how much you've deposited. So if you want to open a long or a short with size without anyone knowing, you are able to do this. Or on Hyperliquid, it is all public. Both have their pros and cons. Two giants of on-chain trading, Aster and Hyperliquid. The next most important thing to look at is the fees, and this is what the platform earns from the trades, and this has a lot of benefits and drawbacks, but generally more fees is good for the platform for its growth and good for the token and the tokenomics and the flywheels they have. And this is really what causes the growth of these platforms. As we can see right here, the fees from Hyperliquid in the last 24 hours are 2.7 million, while on Aster, they are quite a bit larger at 12 million. And this is due to all that volume we've seen on the platform. You will also notice, though, we do see a big difference in the graphs. Where on Aster, this has just started spiking up really in the last 3 or 4 days. Where on Hyperliquid, this has been extremely consistent all the way dating back to kind of June. We saw this pick up, and it's just been sustained since. And this is partly related to how new the platform is, but also the airdrop on Aster, which is a huge opportunity to earn a lot of Aster tokens for their airdrop. And I will put my link for that for the platform. I want to get involved with that. And this does show some of potentially the risk with Aster, where is this really going to be sustained after the airdrop, which happens on October the 5th? Or is this kind of hype? And that is kind of one of the key differences between these platforms. But clearly both functioning very well and both very secure. Now, this is a very interesting one though. The TVL on Hyperliquid is much larger with 6.5 billion, while on Aster is only 2.14 billion. And this is the total money which is sat on those websites. So right on Aster and Hyperliquid, that is just the total money sat on there, not in positions, but it's in position, sat on there, earning yield, whatever it may be. And what this kind of represents is it's the depth of liquidity, which is very, very important, and kind of also the confidence in the platform. So what you would hope with something like Aster is that this number, 2.14, would keep climbing. We wouldn't expect the daily fees to keep climbing, but this is a number we would want to see get larger over time, and you can see it had the massive spike. While on Hyperliquid, it's all a very strong number, and it has been growing for a while now. And it will be interesting to see, does it stay solid at this 6.5 billion? Does it keep growing? Or will Aster start to eat away at this TVL? So that brings me on to the next point. Which of Aster or Hyperliquid is better for beginners? Now, beginners normally want a few things. You want easy deposits, you want a good interface, and you want low costs. Now, what we see, and this, all reflects back to how good the airdrops and the tokens will perform as well. Now, with regards to a few of these points, they both have their pros and cons, but what we do have is Aster has the easier deposits with this multi-chain deposit system. So we can select a blockchain and we have no bridging involved. We can deposit straight from the chain. We click deposit and it will go through. We also have Trust Wallet integration, which has opened up to hundreds of millions of users. And we also have the mobile upcoming in the future. And we also have the nice mobile interface. Now, Hyperliquid again has a very solid UI. It's very, I think, user-friendly, but not quite as much as Aster. We also have Simple and Pro mode on Aster. So Simple does not have this 1001x. And if you have Pro mode, you have option to this crazy amount of leverage, which, to be honest, I would not recommend using. I would recommend sticking to low leverage or no leverage at all, but it is available to you. Now, with regard to fees and costs, Hyperliquid is a gasless on its L1, and Aster does have trading fees, but they are quite low. But what we do see is that Aster does have slightly higher fees than Hyperliquid. So we'll start by comparing these two platforms side by side, then take a look at the tokens, airdrop opportunities, etc. So first of all, we can look at some of the volume these platforms are producing. So if we go on perp volume, on Aster, the last 24 hours, we can see 32 billion, and this is a huge amount. Where on Hyperliquid, we can see a value of around 10 billion. So what this is telling us is the total dollars traded in the perpetual section, the main feature of these platforms. When we're over here, that is literally just the dollar amount being used. So we can see huge numbers with both, but quite a big disparity right now, with Aster clearly leading the way. But you can stack rebates on Aster, which is quite good. And currently trading and generating as much volume and generating fees does help you qualify for the Aster airdrop, which including on October the 8th, the 5th, and should hopefully pay for all these costs, or that's what I'm hoping for anyway. So now with regards to the token, the Aster token is currently just at under $2, where the total token supply is 8 billion, and there's only 1.6 billion circulating right now, with steady unlocks happening through the next year, but no big cliffs, which is, quite good and bullish for the token if the platform can keep its growth up. Now, Hyperliquid has a much higher market cap and is currently sat at $41 a token. And we can see some of the other stats about it with a max supply of 1 billion, so it is a bit lower, but we can see the impact all these other perp exchanges have had on the price, but it's been out for a while. It has an extremely strong flywheel mechanism where fees are used for the buybacks, which has worked extremely well. And that's why we have seen the token just continually trending up. Now, going into a bit more about some of the features which make these platforms different. Starting with Aster, I've already said we have the hidden trades. So while on Hyperliquid, when you open a position, it's on the blockchain. People can know if you make a big or a small position and can hunt your liquidation price, as it's called. So what people will do, if they see you open a massive long position, what they can do is try and make a ton of sell pressure until you get liquidated, then pump the token. On Aster, it's a bit different. It's called a dark DEX. It's something that CZ talked about a lot. And when you make a position, nobody can actually know exactly when you made it and what size. It's not on the blockchain, and some people value this anonymity but still want to be on a DEX rather than a KEX. But we do have the difference where Aster is not an L1 while Hyperliquid is, and this makes for cheaper rapid transactions and also great speed for your trades. And you'll notice this when you use the UI, it is extremely smooth. And the one big other thing, other than deposits, the pro mode, is we have these yield bearing assets, which are pretty cool. So what you can do is when you deposited 1,000 USDT, what you're able to do is it has to be on BNB chain. You can click max, change it to this USDF. And as soon as you do that, you're on perpetual. You do have to be on pro mode. If you have multi-asset mode set rather than single asset mode, so this will have that cross margin enabled, you can earn up to, I believe it was that 9.6% APY. And these do change these values. You can see what they are right here. You see you automatically get 4%. And as soon as you meet the trading requirements, it goes to 5.6%. And that's simply just doing about $2,000 in perp trades. You get rewarded with your collateral with this higher APY, which is quite a unique and innovative feature. So both are extremely strong and reliable platforms, and it does depend slightly on what you value in a platform, but also on sustainability, on the tokenomics as well. And We do have airdrop campaigns running on both websites. Aster is a lot more recent, but it is quickly getting diluted. We'll have to see exactly how it works. If I go to the points tab, I'm not sure what rank I'll be, but it does seem to fluctuate quite a lot. The platform is a little slow right now. So right now I'm 57, but I jumped from 30,000 to this today, or even higher. It is jumping around a lot. I do also have this code. So if you do use the website, you can get this 1.5x bonus for joining my team, which is max level. And finally, whether Aster can overtake Hyperliquid, I think it is too early to tell. The token has been very strong so far, but we are still about 4x lower valuation. And you should watch my video on how I think the Aster token will perform depending on how the growth is. But I do think if we see a lot of these new features come out, the platform keeps running smoothly, lists more projects, and also introduces their new markets, which they've said they have, we could see this token definitely rally 2x. And I think it could come a closer valuation to Hyperliquid, although I don't believe it will flip it. Hyperliquid is an extremely solid project, as we've seen by the numbers, and I think it's good that we have more options available in the space.